Oh man, what's the business? You already know what time it is. It's your folk Marquise. And welcome to our first OVF, man. OVF stands for Overstanding Fridays. So I've been thinking about doing this for so long, you know what I'm saying? Really since I wrote the book, but I never did it. So I decided it's time, you know what I'm saying? Looking at everything that's going on, it's truly time. So OVF, Overstanding Fridays, what I'll do is I'll just read segments of the book, Overstanding, and discuss, like a current event or things of that nature that's going on. Ask y'all thoughts on it, to share personal stories or whatever's going on. It's just a chance for me to share the book with you all. If you find value in it, of course, you can support and order it at the link below in general. But I just want to show that this is a right now necessary work. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of people write books about all type of stuff, and I ain't taking nothing from nobody. I actually help people become published authors. You know what I'm saying? I've helped a number of individuals become published authors, and people have written their stories. People have written different types of books and things of that nature. But I purposely wrote this because I ran the streets. I ran with gangsters. I ran with killers. I put in my own work. I have my own experiences and things of that nature. And since I truly, personally, my own personal story, I started walking with God, you know what I'm saying? Yah, the God of the Bible. And he began to direct me and show me that, I called you to save these young people and to impact this generation. So personally, I wrote this book as an instrument to be used in this battle, as a weapon to be used in this battle, because it's real out here. For those that may have seen Wednesday's episode, 6 Seconds in Hell, I'm going to talk about that a little more today also. But that's just the reality of what's going on. So I don't want to just be another person, just out here doing whatever. I want to fight. Well, I'm here to fight the hard battles also. This is my calling. So as you learn who you are in the general sense, you embrace your calling and you walk it out. It is what it is. So I know that this is what I was called to do. I know I was called to write this book. So even though I touch on touchy subjects, not a new subject, but, even though I touch on these subjects, this is what I'm called to do. I actually know that this is what I was called to do. I know that I was led to write this book. So that's what I'm here to do, man. So we're going to make it cool. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be boring. I ain't gonna just read like, Ben Stein, Clear Eyes, I'm gonna read, you'll see how I read, but I'm gonna just be talking with you and building with you while I'm reading, and I'm gonna ask your thoughts. So that's our OVF. I'm excited about it. Again, it's something that I wanted to do for some time, so I'm now gonna start doing it now more than ever is needed. So I'm gonna start out by asking y'all the question for the day, you know what I'm saying, when I'm reading. I'm going to start out with the question, then I'm going to read, break it down a little bit, expound on it, and then finish with the question. And I would love to see y'all comments below. And that's just how it is. So the question for today is truly, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on today's gangster music and our cultural climate? What are your thoughts on today's gangster music and our cultural climate? Meaning, what are your thoughts on gangster music in and of itself? How it's shown, how it's portrayed, the videos, and truly how it's affecting our culture today. When you look at the cultural climate, again, look at everything that was discussed on Wednesday in the reaction video, 6 Seconds in Hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to break that down some more today. But let's get it in, man. I actually decided to kick it off by actually talking about the evolution of rap and the introduction of gangster music. So, the whole book is about that. But in this book, I really did some of the historical views. So people, a lot of times people get involved in stuff. And it's a natural thing to be involved in or listen or take part in something that you have no understanding or knowledge of the historical background and things of that nature. So I just wanted to do my due diligence by sharing. And I learned so much writing this book. Just by going back in time. But anyway, page 83, the evolution of rap and the introduction to gangster music. Have you ever seen the acronym IDGAF or DILIGAF? If so, do you know what it means? Keep the last part of that question in mind. It's significant. It's significant. If you haven't figured it out, it stands for I don't give a F. And the second one stands for do it look like I give a F? Well, we live in the age of acronyms and text messages. Text language, or net lingo, which happens to be a registered trademark of a company that has created a database of chat acronyms and text and shorthand. Well, I read that wrong, but it's all good. All of this shows how we evolve as people, or at least the way that we do things. As you can see now, more than ever, people, BTW, by the way, TTYL, talk to you later. You know what I'm saying? IDK, I don't know. That's what I was just talking about there, and that's amazing. I find myself doing it. So we evolve as people with language and how we do things. It's pretty cool, but that's what that is. IDGAF or DILIGAF can be attributed to the attitude of a gangster or a gangsta, as it is most commonly spelled within the urban demographic. Although different people have held an IDGAF type of attitude since the dawn of time, the most noted and certainly the most glamorized and glorified of this persona will have to be attributed to the gangster. Although quote-unquote gangs of people have existed for hundreds and technically thousands of years globally, the word means a gang member. Though we're going to be discussing this topic mainly from the urban, Black, and Latino perspective of gangsterism, according to the music that we're speaking of, it's worth noting that the most well-known gangsters were immigrants of either Italian or Sicilian nationality. And that's the true thing, man. A guy that I know was telling me about the movie, the TV series, The Godfather of Harlem. And I was checking some of that out, and I was like, man, like, these dudes is gangsters. These people, that's a crazy series, you know what I'm saying? But it showed the reality of gangsterism. But even in that, one of the biggest things about gangsterism, true gangsterism, was the rules and the laws and the codes. In that TV show, they had rules, they had law. It's powerful, man. Really, when you look at it, when you check it out, the real gangsterism, not this just crazy anything goes, no code, no law, no morals, no ethics, even though it's almost an oxymoron, you know what I'm saying? But just mindless craziness that gets done by a lot of the people that live a gangster lifestyle these days. But even like, for instance, in the Godfather of Harlem, there were rules, there were laws, like, you don't do this, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the major keys, and is, I really would say was, because, things have changed so much where, snitching is just okay, and anything goes, kill women and kill children and all. Back in the day, real gangsters, we can look at Scarface, no women and children. As gangster and wild and crazy as Scarface was, no women and children. He shot the dude in the head in the movie because dude was hell bent on blowing up that woman and them children. And he shot him. Boom! Now look at you, you stupid. I told you, no women and kids. So that's some of the separation. Gangsters do what they want. Gangsters are rebels with a cause to them, even though their activity is criminal. And that's what I'm saying. Gangsters demand respect, period. Although we're here to discuss gangster music, we won't go into the history of gangsters. You can study that at a later time if you see the need to. However, the Parkside Killers of Philadelphia is a gang that you should be aware of. Why? Because that's what it means. Consider the very first gangster rap song to hit the scene, PSK, What Does It Mean, would ignite an entirely new genre of music that would send shockwaves throughout the planet in the years to come. So it's like when you really go back to see what paved the way, it matters. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. And I'm amazed when I look at the rap that come on now, and it's like, it's just taking on a whole new life. You know what I'm saying? In a general sense, but it's like paying homage and just understanding where stuff came from. To me, it's important as a part of the culture. You want to know your history. You want to know your roots. You want to know where these things came from. The lifestyles that people live in. You know, why things happen the way that they do. One more page, we're going to break it down. Written and performed by West Philadelphia native Jesse Schoolie D. Weaver. This rhyme was laced with bars of young inner city life and an immortalized acronym, which stood for a local gang, so cleverly hidden in plain sight. PSK, Parkside Killers. So one thing that I was driving home in this book, I've never been the one to say, and I said it so many times in this book, I've never said that rap, gangster rap, caused the violence that we see out here or caused the criminal activity that we see out here. That's not the case. Gangsterism, murder, I mean, you know, for those that believe in the Bible, Cain and Abel, the very first murder happened so long ago. You know what I'm saying? The first murder, Cain killed Abel. You know, so murder has been going on. Sex outside of marriage has been going on. You know, robbery, thieving, getting high, getting drunk. That stuff been going on. So I never said that gangster rap music was the cause or the origination of the crime and the things that we see. That was never my point, never my intention. I personally believe that it exacerbates and perpetuates and broadens the scale or the net, so to speak, of gangsterism, reckless living, and things of that nature. Meaning, because of the internet and YouTube, and it just casts a wider net and audience of people and influences their mind to live certain lifestyles and behaviors. That's what I believe. Before we move forward, I'd like to clarify some things that I found in my research. I was a bit confused at first, but now I understand. Although Ice-T dropped Cold Wind Madness, or the coldest rap as it's commonly known, in the year 1983, it was considered more of hardcore rap rather than gangster rap. So again, Ice-T, one of the godfathers of the gangster rap movement, his song dropped in 83. But they called that hardcore rap, not gangster rap. Check that out. And of course, Ice-T is still considered a pioneer of the genre. However, even Ice-T gives credit and was himself, check that out, influenced by Schoolie D's PSK, What Does It Mean?, which dropped in 1985. It was this song that inspired Ice-T to write his known gangster rap classics, Body Rock Killers, which was also released in 1985. That's the year I was born. Shout out to them 80s babies, know what I'm saying? 2 years later, after finally signing a major record deal with Side Records, Ice-T released his debut studio album titled Rhyme Pays, which is a play on words of crime pays, which, watch this, became the first ever hip-hop album featuring the parental advisory warning label. So Ice-T broke the mold with the parental advisory. And that's what I'm saying. Things are so different. Children just got access to music like it ain't nothing with the phones, YouTube, internet. When I was coming up, and I appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, you had parental advisory explicit content. You had where you just can't go in the store. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm from the South. When I was coming up, you just couldn't go in the store and buy a gangster rap album. You had to be a certain age. You know what I'm saying? They had certain songs. I mean, gangster music, you just couldn't go in there and get the gangster project that just dropped. You know what I'm saying? You had to be of a certain age. And, you know, that made a big difference. Then, you know, they started to get a little more lenient and all that. So they at least gave warnings. Like, it's so different now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going digital, streaming and all that. So if you got a phone, you can just plug in, tap in, bam, you there. It ain't used to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's I know that's a major difference and determining factor of what we see here in our cultural climate. Talk about pioneering. This project carried the hugely influential and gangster definitive 6 in the Morning. Side note, as we noted before, specific sources list things differently than others. Another reference on the topic lists Ice-T's album as the second album to feature the Warning label. Not the first. And that can be found at Wikipedia if you search Ice-T's. Let's continue. In a parent interview in the Philadelphia City paper, Schoolie D brings us into his world 30 years prior when he was on the brink of throwing in the towel on his fledgling rap career. He was discouraged and decided to quit before being inspired by some buddies from around his way. After a few pep talks, young Jesse, Schoolie D, decided to roll him some bud and give it a shot at 3 in the morning at his mama dining room table. Talk about gangster. Even though I was young and wild, drinking my liquor, smoking my weed, I sure wasn't doing it at my mama's table. LOL. Schoolie admits that he wrote the song under the influence of plenty of weed and then recorded it under the influence of much more weed. He dropped the song in the studio intending to record classical music, not hip-hop or rap. And the rest was history, man. That song went on to literally pave the way for gangster music that gave birth to NWA and all the way up to Pooh Shiesty today. Moneybag Yo, Lil Durk, you know what I'm saying? King Von, God rest his soul. All these other individuals. It started with guys like that back when I was born. So again, this comes to the close of the video. First of all, let me know how y'all feel about this. My goal isn't to make real long videos all the time, but it's a guy that I watch his videos. Shout out Quasi. All his videos like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 minutes, and they pack with info. They pack with knowledge and content that's life-changing. So I pray that these are life-changing. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy videos of this length. I can't say what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of filling this thing out. I'm definitely going to read a page. This time I read 2 because I really felt that it was valuable to know information in both pages, but sometimes it might be a paragraph, sometimes it might be a page. So I'm just getting a feel of that. I'll definitely do my study, my work beforehand to figure out what I'm gonna do, but that's how we're moving with that. So to end with the question, what are your thoughts on today's gangster music and our cultural climate? We saw the 6 Seconds of Hell May 29th at the El Mula Banquet Hall at a music release party. 3 young dudes jumped out of a white SUV and shot up 23 people in 6 seconds. As I said, we discussed that Wednesday's reaction video, 6 Seconds in Hell. They jumped out with assault rifles. That's just the language I'm going to use. You know, I don't get caught up in all that. I believe that guns are a blessing and it's a reason that we have them, and it can be used to help individuals and protect ourselves and our family. But of course, just like anything else, they can be used to cause chaos and harm. So 3 individuals, 3 young men jumped out a white SUV at El Mula Banquet Hall and shot 23 people in 6 seconds. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. 6 seconds, that many people. That is so horrific, man. They killed 2, and another young lady just died. Unfortunately, she had a 12-year-old son. God bless her family. One young lady was saying like it was like something on a movie, and it was. I felt like that too when I was watching it. Like, man, they jumped, they pulled, they cased the joint, they rolled past, they parked, they looked, they scoped it out, they pulled around, parked in the cut. The getaway driver parked in the cut. These dudes hopped out. You seen them running? They call them the rods, them poles. You know what I'm saying? Assault weapons, and they just started dumping. They shot so many rounds in 6 seconds, man. You know what I'm saying? Dropped one young dude, boom, as soon as it hit him, he just fell back. And as you saw in the clip, go back and watch the video. They blurred out his body, God rest his soul. And man, 23 people. 20 were injured, 3 died. And the young lady was saying it looked like something out of a movie, man. They drove and they dumped the whip. They dumped the whip in the river, man. Like a movie. I was watching like, bro, like they jumped out, ran, jumped in the junk, pulled off, dumped it in the river. You know, the detectives, they showed them, you know, y'all seen the footage, pulling it out the river. They had the dive team go under there and pull it out. But look how real this is. This how serious it done got. Because people are truly heartbroken about that. The ATF and the feds, alcohol, tobacco, and firearm, and the feds, lending federal resources to find these dudes. Also, it's 130 bands on their head for them to for people to bring them to justice. This is serious, man. You know what I'm saying? This is serious. So my condolences to the family, everybody that was injured, everybody that was killed. Again, they look like some real young dudes. They look like real young dudes. And I'm just saying, I believe, really I know, but I'm just saying, when you constantly bombard your mind with shoot them up, bang, bang, I'm going to up the rod, I'm going to shoot him, I'm going to lay him out, shoot him, and he spin and he drop, and just constantly filling your heart and your soul and your mind with violence. Violence against women. Violence against people that look like you. Just violence and murder and death and hatred. It is going to affect you. I do not care what nobody say. And just like anything else, no, it might not be everybody. Well, Marquise, what about those that listen to it that don't do that? What about those that listen to it and work out? What about? It's always a chance, just like with rape and molestation. Some children, some young ladies, for instance, when they're molested as children, some of them turn to, excuse me, not to say it like they become, some of them turn to straight hoes. Just everybody, they get themselves to everybody, sleeping with this guy and 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 this guy. Let people run trains on them, all type of craziness. Because their innocence was stolen, they were broken, that was done to them, and it changed them. They got molested as a child. Now they give it to everybody. Some porn star, different things. I've heard them, I've known them, I've seen them. Then you got some that get raped or molested, and they close it off. Ain't nobody getting none. They fold up inside like, no sex for me. Then you got some that it doesn't affect them at all in a sexual way. They might have one boyfriend and time go on and they have another boyfriend. So everybody gets affected differently, but it does affect them. It's your folk Marquise. I appreciate it. Again, I'm running the bundle pre-launch sale. You can buy the shirt, Think Different, Live Different at the link below. And you'll get the book Overstanding for free. Again, go ahead and answer the question down below. Also, let me know what you think about the length of these videos. But if they're adding value and you're blessed by it, man, please go ahead and consider subscribing, like, comment, and share. And we're going to keep on rocking. See you next Friday on the OVF. It's your folk Marquise. You already know what time it is. Think different. Live different. Y'all blessed, man.